And for us at Lexicon, it's been a really important couple of months. It's a non-incretin mechanism. It targets an enzyme in the gut called ACSL5. Get in. They've made a lot of money last year, so get in and get at it.
Onyx Live is proudly sponsored by Humphrey's Law.
Mike, thank you so much for joining us.
It's a pleasure.
Once again.
For
the two people left who don't know who you are, could you please introduce yourself to our viewers?
Yeah, of course. So Mike Exton, CEO of Lexicon Pharmaceuticals. It's a public company on the Nasdaq here in the US, focused mostly in cardiometabolic disease and pain.
Fantastic. I mean, we last spoke to you around 6 to 8 weeks ago at Jefferies in London, and now we're here in San Francisco for JPM.
Yeah.
How have things been progressing?
You know, it's I think the environment itself has moved quite a lot from Jefferies to now. A lot more optimism coming through. There's been a number of M&A deals that have happened, significant M&A deals, both large and smaller ones, but also, you know, a lot of great trial results that's giving a lot of enthusiasm to the space. And for us at Lexicon, it's been a really important couple of months. You know, we're now starting to move towards an NDA or a resubmission for Zynquista for type 1 diabetes. We just triggered a milestone payment from Novo Nordisk for our obesity product, and our phase 3 trial for hypertrophic cardiomyopathy is well on track. So 2026 is going to be massive for us.
Fantastic. And as far as the FDA is concerned, what were the main hurdles with Zynquista and how far along are you?
So they were primarily concerned about the rates of diabetic ketoacidosis, which is a rare but can be a serious condition as a part of type 1 diabetes. What is important is that they recognize the efficacy, and now we have some third-party data that's ongoing that we think can satisfy their understanding of how frequent the diabetic ketoacidosis is in these patients with sotagliflozin and Zynquista. So we feel very confident that we should be able to resubmit this year and hopefully have an approval by the end of 2026.
Fantastic. At JPM this year, what are some of the hot topics?
Look, can't be a JPM without obesity at the moment, and thankfully we are in that space with Novo Nordisk licensing 9851. But you know, importantly, it's really expanding out beyond that. I think brain science is coming to the front. I think pain continues to be something that folks are very interested in. And finally, what is really hot, particularly today, Cytokinetics presenting their corporate presentation in hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, where our phase 3 trial is ongoing, so that we have a great opportunity. We're getting a lot of inbound interest in that particular indication for SOTA. So yeah, I think it's really broadening out beyond just obesity monolith, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. I understand there's some promising preclinical data was in a journal of endocrinology.
Yes.
Yeah, could you talk a bit more about that?
Yeah, so LX9851, it's a non-incretin mechanism. It targets an enzyme in the gut called ACSL5. And when you add this drug to semaglutide, you get additional weight loss preclinically. If you use semaglutide and then discontinue, as we know in the real world, patients start to rebound their weight until they eventually typically get back to where they started. But if you add 9851 to a discontinued rat, in this case, then you'll continue the weight maintenance over that period of time. So, you know, this could be used as a monotherapy, as a combination therapy for other oral obesity agents, so we think there's a lot of promise there.
Fantastic, and we'll discuss it more in detail later, but massive news at the end of 2025 with the first ever FDA approved oral GLP-1 pill for weight loss.
Right.
What do you make of it? How significant is it?
I think it's huge. I think it's really important for the field. So I think it's, funnily enough, an injection is, I think, pretty simple, but a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
I think that's important, that it really has the potential to expand the market. The other important thing is that a lot of patients, as I mentioned, discontinue these GLP-1 medicines because of tolerability issues. So they have nausea, they have diarrhea, they vomit and these sorts of things, and so they discontinue. And so having an oral medicine addresses both the needle phobia that you get with some patients, but it also allows you to combine therapies much more easily, and in a way that the patient can also control the titration of those medicines depending on how they feel. So I think it's great for the field and it's great for Novo Nordisk in the first instance, but as a read-through to us with an oral medicine that we've licensed to Novo Nordisk, that augurs well for continued development of our medicine as well. So overall, a very big positive for the field of obesity.
And finally, what's your message to investors this week?
Get in. They've made a lot of money last year, so get in and get at it. You know, I think there's a lot of great science, as there always has been, and there's now the time to really reinvest and continue the innovation in the US.
Fantastic, Mike. Pleasure as always. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.